No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Ow. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ooh, the gym. Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, Fly Fishing Guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah, try it sometime.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
It's time for the Lithia Ford of Boise Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view their full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise Post-Game Show from Bronco Nation News.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? And welcome live to ExtraMile Arena. Boise State taking down Fresno State tonight, 90-66. This is Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show. We're in the Cutwater Studios here at ExtraMile Arena. Our title sponsor, obviously, is RowPaint.com. All your painting needs, make sure you check out our friends at ROEPaint.com. That's RowPaint.com. And Lithia Ford of Boise, their full inventory of vehicles is online, LithiaFordBoise.com. I encourage you to check them out, and you can go test drive a vehicle and be on your way in a couple hours like the Rains family did about 18 months ago or so when we purchased our vehicle from them. So thank you, Lithia Ford. And, man, we're in the Cutwater Studios, and I would love a Cutwater right now, maybe having one a little later this evening, and hopefully you guys are enjoying some Cutwaters right now if you're a Boise State fan, because 90-66, super impressive win. Boise State was over 1.4 points per possession again, so the offense was very efficient, very, very strong tonight. And Tyson Degenhart, 24 points. He had 17 for Omar Stanley, 13 for Max Rice, 12 for Chibuzo Abo. Rice and Abo both hit 3 threes tonight. That was encouraging. And then Stanley and Degenhart took advantage. You know, both the 7-footers we said on the pregame show were going to be out for Fresno State. So both those guys being out, you know, Boise State really attacked the paint tonight. You had 30 points in the paint for Boise State, 18 bench points for Boise State tonight. I thought they were really impressive. Kareem the Dream says he projected 90-67 on the pregame. It was 90-66. Jaden, let's go ahead and get Kareem the Dream a gift card here. Kareem, email us. We'll get you a Taco Bell gift card. If you were really 1 point off, congratulations on that, man. That's a heck of a prediction for you. But overall, Boise State shoots 58.8% from the game. They hold Fresno State to 42.4%. Really, this game would have been a 35-40 point blowout if not for Fresno State hitting 11 threes. And they got kind of happy with the threes early in the game and just kept jacking them up in the second half and weren't hitting very many. But for the most part, that was all of Fresno State's offense. Nearly half their field goals were threes tonight, and they just kept jacking them up. And again, in the first half, they were hitting them. But they started cooling off a little bit in the second half. I think they were just 4 of 14 in the second half from three-point range. But overall, Boise State 35-23 edge on the glass. Every stat pretty much is in Boise State's favor in this game. Boise State had 11 points off turnovers and only 7 turnovers for Boise State tonight as well. So just very efficient, took care of the ball, and again, shot 58.8% from the field. They made 10 3-pointers themselves, 10 of 24. So, in that Colorado State, Utah State week, you could tell Boise State was just kind of on fumes. They needed a break in the worst way. They were the last team to get a bye after playing 11 straight games on 2 or 3 days of rest. I know it sounds like an excuse for some folks, but they badly needed a break, and they were just kind of worn out. And you could just tell tonight they had new energy, new life, and just had more bounce in their step. And I think that those days off certainly helped Boise State from that standpoint to be able to rest and recharge here for the stretch run. And Boise State now back in first place, at least a tie, and the losers are in the loss column for first place. They're a half a game back. They're 8-4. You have San Diego State and Utah State at 9-4. Both those teams now play on Tuesday again in Logan. So one of those teams is going to drop down to 5, and Boise State could be there tied for first place. If San Diego State were to win, then Boise State would be in first place because they would have the tiebreaker over San Diego State. If Utah State were to win, then it'd be Utah State and Boise State tied. Utah State swept Boise State, so they would have the tiebreaker. But they do have co-champions. So if there is a tie, they will be considered Mountain West co-champions. That's just to determine the seeding for the conference tournament. So again, Boise State tied in the loss column now. And I always say you can't make up losses, but you can make up wins. So tied in the loss column is nice. Even though they're a game, half a game behind in the win column, they can win the game and make up that half game, but you can't make up the loss. So tied in the loss column is where you want to be. And certainly for Boise State, as tough as that last stretch it was, here they look up and they're right back in a tie for first place in the loss column. So you got San Jose on Tuesday, Wyoming and Air Force coming up. And as we talked about, this is an opportunity. And I tried to tell you guys, been saying it for weeks, and I know most of you guys are the positive ones that watch these shows and things, but some of the folks on Twitter and stuff, I tried to say, as bad as it was last week, like it was a super hard stretch, but it was going to even out because those other teams all had to play each other and lose games, and Boise State was in a favorable part of their schedule. And so certainly was a situation where Boise State was able to do some things. And sorry, I just realized I had the wrong mic setting there, so hopefully that sounds a little better. But certainly a situation for Boise State that they're back now tied for first place in the loss column, and a chance to continue to go on a run and stay in first place here for a nice little stretch with some of the games that they have coming up. You did have 17 points for Isaiah Pope as we look at the Fresno State stats. 15 for Isaiah Hill, 14 for Xavier Ducell, the Wyoming transfer, and then Jalen Weaver had 13. They had 2 guys make 4 threes, and they usually don't make that many. So, again, just the way it goes sometimes. They make 11 threes, but Boise State made 10 themselves. Boise State 35-23 on the glass, as I said. Free throw advantage was big for Boise State as well, 28 free throw attempts to 12. But I didn't think it was any suspect officiating. I just thought that Fresno State was jacking up threes the whole time, and Boise State was driving to the paint and getting foul calls. So that happens a lot, and that was able to, why Boise State was able to take advantage, at the line and get some extra points there. Tyson Degenhart set a career high 12 of 14 from the foul line tonight. So Tyson was really getting to the line and being aggressive there. I do appreciate they gave a shout out apparently on the broadcast of our story on Chris Chambers. Appreciate everybody that has commented on. It's been a lot of great positive feedback, and we appreciate everybody for that. So if you haven't read the story, go check it out at BroncoNationNews.com. Story of Boise State's relationship with Chris Chambers. He spoke to the team. He tragically passed away in the Arabian Sea. He's a Navy SEAL a couple of weeks ago, and I know Boise State pulled together some money. You can go on there and donate, and I appreciate CBS Sports Network and Rich Waltz for crediting us for the story and for mentioning that. So thank you to CBS Sports and Rich Waltz for that. Let's see what else we got here in some of the comments. We're going to hear from Leon Rice and some of the players. I forgot to hit record on Leon Rice, so we only have about 5 minutes of Leon. We have the second half of his interview, and I apologize for that. Kurt, I love you, but let's get the Orioles talk out of here. We're talking basketball. today. Kay Foster, solid performance. They took care of business. Somebody mentioned something about renovations to ExtraMile Arena. I haven't heard much about that. I know they are trying to do that whole project with the east side, and I think they meant maybe more the practice facility and the offices and some of that. They could really use a new sound system in here, and there's some other things they could use. I haven't heard anything specifically on that, so I don't know exactly. I don't know much about what they're talking about on the broadcast on that, but they are planning some stuff in the back in the practice facility and the offices. Maybe that's what they were talking about. They're talking about the shout out on the broadcast. Yep, that was pretty cool. Appreciate that. And most impressive thing about Degenhardt, by far, the humility. Good enough to be me, but he's complimentary of his teammates. No doubt about that. By the way, Wednesday night, it'll be a Tyson Degenhardt show. Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Make sure you join us for a Tyson Degenhardt show coming up on Wednesday on BNN. Omar Stanley, maybe the quietest doubles-figure scoring games I've ever seen. So sneaky smooth. He has 17 tonight, only had 4 rebounds, but was 6 of 8 from the field, hit another three-pointer, had an assist. He did have 4 turnovers, though, so he's got to take care of the ball a little better. But Logan says came out and handled business as they should have. Glad to see. How about Utah State getting blown up by Colorado State? And yeah, that's what you wanted to see if you're a Boise State fan, because Utah State doesn't have a lot of losable games left. They have New Mexico and San Diego State, but they're both at home. So if I think you want to be rooting for sure for San Diego State on Tuesday against Utah State down in Logan. So that's going to be a big one for sure. What a surprise. We blew out a terrible conference team. More ammo for BJ to continue the narrative that we're somehow elite. Yeah, I guess that would be more of the narrative to beat a bad team. I don't know if I've ever said that they were elite, but I certainly think they're one of the top teams in the conference and think they have a strong chance of getting to the NCAA tournament. So however you quantify that is that. But again, you're supposed to win by 14. You win by 24. I had been updating the KenPom numbers earlier. Boise State went up about 3 spots or so tonight. They were 52, I think, at one point. They're up to 49 after that win, so 90-66. They go up to number 49, which is like the second highest they've been all season. They were up to 45 after they beat Air Force by 30 or whatever a couple weeks ago, and then after those 2 losses, they dropped back down. But 49 at KenPom is about as good as they've been all season. I would suspect they'll go up a spot or 2 in the net rankings as well. They had that they were up 25 or so. I think it was actually 27, and then they let Fresno hit a 3 there with about 30 seconds left, and so the 27-point win becomes a 24-point win. And I know some folks were asking why the starters were still in the game so late, but Leon Rice acknowledged it after the game. Nowadays, this is what you have to do with the metrics and all that stuff mattering. So I think that you want to win by as many as you can, and if that means having to run up the score a little bit at the end, that's unfortunately what you have to do. On the broadcast, they had some good things to say about BNN. You'll have to go back and listen to that, so I appreciate them for saying that. Wait till we see Utah State again. I actually would like to play Utah State again if I was Boise State. I think on a neutral court, Boise State, I think could in the third time coming, I think Boise State could take Utah State. I'd be happy. I'd be excited to see that matchup. I think I don't think that Boise State should be scared of having to play Utah State. They're a very good team and first place in the conference right now in a tie. But I think that Boise State should have beaten them here if they make a free throw and don't give up a full court layup and lose in overtime. And I certainly think that Boise State would be in sole possession of first place if Omar Stanley makes that free throw and they don't give up that bucket there before the game ends and they go to overtime. So Fazlov had 25 points, whatever it was last time they played him. I don't think, again, not discrediting Utah State. I think they're a solid team, but I don't think that's some team that Boise State has no chance of beating if they were to play. Jerry Palm had Boise State as a 9 seed on the halftime show. Jerry Palm's been a little higher on Boise State than some folks have. But that's a good to see for sure that he has them there. Cody Kithart saying should be able to get right these next few games, hopefully build the resume for March. And that's kind of what we talked about. I mean, again, I know folks were disappointed with some of the losses last week, and I think they were 4-4 in their last 8 games. And but all the games count. And if AP or whoever want to discredit this win because they played Fresno, that's fine. But again, they were supposed to win by 14. They won by 24. So I think you have to give them a little credit for that. And as I said, Boise State was playing their harder part of the schedule while other teams were playing the easier part. Now it's Boise State's chance to take care of business, beat some bad teams. And like I said, when you look up here, all said and done, Boise State's going to be right there near the top of the standing. Don says, nice to see number 0 knock down some threes. Yeah, you had Roddy Anderson hit 2 threes tonight. He was plus 14 on the plus minus. He had 3 assists. and only 1 turnover for Roddy Anderson. So, yeah, he did play pretty well. Let's take a quick 90-second timeout, and let's hear from Tyson Degenhart and Cam Martin after the game. We'll hear from Leon Rice as well. So keep your comments, your thoughts coming on Boise State's win. We'll thank some sponsors here with a quick 90-second timeout. Then we'll hear from Cam Martin and Tyson Degenhart here coming up. Lithia Florida Boise postgame show. We're in the Cutwater Studios. We're presented by RowPaint.com. We're at ExtraMile Arena. Boise State wins this one 90-66. We're back in 90 seconds with some postgame interviews. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is RowPaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out RowPaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact RowPaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is RowPaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, back here live on the Lithia Florida Boise postgame show. We're taking your comments. We're taking your thoughts. We're also hearing from some players. Tyson Degenhart, Cam Martin again. Tyson Degenhart had 24 points tonight, career high 12 of 14 from the field. I believe he's scored in 20 points in like 6 of his last 8 games. He is certainly scoring at a nice clip. 8th 20th point game of the season and 4 in his last 7. So Tyson Degenhart coming on at the right time for Boise State. Let's hear from Cam Martin and Tyson Degenhart after the game.
It was good after getting that bye week and getting some rest. Coming back with 2 good days of practice, and we had to regroup, and we came out and took care of business. I think we played really well from top to bottom, from start to finish. So a lot of improvement still, but we had a good showing.
How badly did you guys need that kind of break to reset mentally, physically, and just kind of gear up for the stretch run here?
No, it was beneficial. We had a long stretch. It's a tough league. It's hard to win on the road. It's also hard to win at home. So we were playing good teams every night. So it was good just to get that little break and a couple off days and then regroup and get back out there.
Tyson, after, like you go through the season, you're playing twice a week, and you get to the middle of the season, you have 7 days off. You guys came out looking like a hungry team. How hungry were you to get back on the court?
We were definitely hungry. Those 2 losses the week previous were still sitting with us, and we realized we had a lot of games in front of us, and so we just had to take it one game at a time.
What was the key offensively tonight? I noticed to shoot as well as he did. I think you were like over 1.4 points per possession a game.
We realized that we found out in warmups that Boyaki was not going to play, so we knew they were undersized, and for us, just throw it in the post, and a lot of good things will happen, whether one of the post scores or we find an open man out in 3. We had a really good offensive mindset today.
Back in the loss column and tie for first again. I know it's a long season left, but to kind of know that you're back in the tie for first in the loss column, how's that feel?
It feels good, and it also feels good knowing we control our destiny at this point. We take care of business, and it's only up to us.
Cam, you were such a scorer earlier on in your career, and you come here and you're leading the team in assists and whatnot. You always had that in your game. You're just using it now more. Describe kind of how you see the floor, and you used to see the floor as a scorer. Now you probably see it more so as a passer.
Yeah, no, I was definitely a scorer first, but I think just I have great players around me, so they make it easy. We move the ball well as a team. Everybody passes well, so just being surrounded by great players makes my job easy.
So how much you got? I know we've talked about this before, but you tell at times too, like you're almost seeing what you can do when you're trying to pass it. Like I don't know, how much confidence do you have right now when it comes to that?
I have a lot of confidence, and then our guys are hitting a lot of shots, so it gives me more confidence. just fitting balls through tighter windows to get them the ball because they make good plays once they get it. So yeah, then it's make my job easy.
What does an offense? I don't have an answer to it, but just an offensive showing like that where everybody seems to contribute. I mean, we kind of asked this after the Air Force game, but what does it do for you guys and your confidence?
I think it builds our confidence, especially not only for the starters, but for our bench guys, because, they're as important as the starters. They played really good minutes tonight, and we just got to continue to have them playing like that in the future.
This stretch where on paper at least like you guys have an easier stretch of your season right here. I know you guys don't look at it that way, but just to start this key stretch off with a nice win like this, I guess just in this final 7 games, I guess just how's this feel? How's this help build the momentum here as every game gets bigger?
It definitely helps getting some momentum going, getting guys' confidence up. But we just got to look at it one game at a time. It's hard not looking ahead and seeing, these guys play these guys, what they do for the standing, because everybody's so close. Every game matters. So we just got to look at it as one day at a time, one game at a time.
Do you guys keep an eye on the standings at all, or do you just kind of let things fall as they come?
It's funny you say that because before our practice, we talked about just like where we're at in the standings, and we were one game back in the loss column after a pretty hard 11-game stretch, and we realized what we had in front of us, and we just needed a couple things to go our way, and now we control our own destiny. So I think we're in a really great spot, and like based off quad 1 wins, we have as many as we had the past 2 years, and I think we're in a really good spot.
So I think we're seeing some of your family members here. Did you have a bigger crowd tonight there, bud?
We had a good amount of people here, that's for sure. Yeah.
What was it like playing in front of them?
It's the coolest feeling, growing up playing basketball, having them support you from a young age, and being able to have them, travel from Spokane and come down here and watch. It just means the world.
There they are. We appreciate Tyson Degenhart, Cam Martin for jumping on the post-game show here and doing some interviews there. He had his mom, his dad, a lot of family members, Matt Bauscher, Brock Rice. There were a lot of folks in the back of the room there. So you'll hear some more joking with Leon here coming up in a second. But again, Boise State tied for first place in the loss column. And we're looking, I guess we had a burner on there, an Aggie fan burner coming into the chat there. They're not talking much tonight. Let's see. Love the RJ Keene sighting hustle. Yeah, finally he was able to get a bucket, and I'm going to see if we can get the standings here on the screen. And usually CBS Sports does a pretty good job of updating those, so I'll do that while we're talking here. But again, the game, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but my thing here says the game's not until 9:30 tonight Mountain Time. That seems super late, but let me know if that's correct. 9:30 is what I have for the Nevada and UNLV game. I would have thought that was 8:30 our time, but it says 9:30, so I may be able to get home and see some of that. I'm looking forward to that if that's the case. All right, we've got the standings here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know on that game, by the way, if you can. But let's do this here on the fly. I apologize for this. Bad show hosting here. And, of course, a ad popped up on the screen. All right, here's your standings right now. These are up to the second standings. Utah State 9-4, San Diego State 9-4, and then Boise State a half game back at 8-4. UNLV playing tonight against Nevada. You probably want Nevada to win that game for a lot of reasons, but mostly because you want to keep Nevada in the mix for the 6th bid Mountain West here. So Nevada, I believe, is a 1.5 or 2 point underdog tonight at UNLV. Yeah. Excuse me, the game is at UNLV tonight. But if Nevada is probably the team you want to win, that would put that would leave it as 3-way tie with 4 losses: Utah State, San Diego State, and Boise State. They determine the seeding, by the way, based on the head-to-head record against the teams. So if there's a multi-team tie, you would put the head-to-head record into all of those teams. Then you would go to how you did against the next team in the standings, and then you would go down, if it gets to a net ranking, would break the tie. So here's the current standings. I don't know who I think is going to win that game, to be honest with you, tonight, but maybe UNLV gets to 8-4 as well. And again, if there's a tiebreaker between Boise State and UNLV, 1-0 was the only time they played. UNLV, I believe, would win that tiebreaker. I think 1-0 is better than 0-0 or 1-1. So even though they only played once, I think UNLV gets that tiebreaker head-to-head. So that could be a bad beat for Boise State if they end up tied in a spot for the 3rd seed or the 4. I guess 4 or 5 doesn't matter, but the 3rd seed or even that 5th seed could matter based on the tie, having to play the bye or something in the first round. So a lot of games still to go, but Boise State, again, right there, now back in control of their own destiny. Boise State in control of their own destiny to at least clinch a share of the Mountain West title. I know that it's not a lot of people are thinking, 6 more wins here, but the math is the math. Boise State is in control of its own destiny, and if San Diego State can go win at Utah State on Tuesday, then Boise State would clinch the outright Mountain West title with by sweeping and running the table here. So appreciate it. I always got you, Max. I'm doing all my shows, doing my stuff, and then we got Max teams leaving stuff in Logan, Utah, and I was able to go back and pick it up for him the other day last week. So he walked by and said thank you there. But there's your Mountain West standings, and again, the math, I know, not likely at this point, but just putting it out there. Boise State now back in control of its own destiny. Winning out would clinch at least a share of the Mountain West title. And again, Tuesday night in Logan, if San Diego State could somehow get a road win, now they are 0-4 against the other top 5 on the road, so probably not likely. But if San Diego State were to go in there and win in Logan on Tuesday, then Boise State could win out. And if they win in San Diego for the last game of the season, they would be the outright champion. So, also, what could happen is Boise State, if San Diego State won that, they would have 4 losses. Boise State would beat them to give them 5. I was going to say, I think Boise State could be in a position where they would be able to already have at least a share of the title, shared before going into that last game, which would be ideal. But I don't know if that's the case. San Diego State would have to lose another game, I guess, for that to happen. Such a fun game. Surprised how many folks in the community saw it was a place to be. Yeah, it was a nice crowd. Not like not like the most energetic crowd of the season, but it was a nice crowd. They announced it at 11,595. So 5:30. It was a Saturday, nice time, and the third deck was pretty full. So 11,500 is a really nice attendance for Boise State. Sky says Aggie fans got real quiet on Twitter. Jordan, we saw how happy you were. I don't know if it was you or your brother. I saw one of you like holding up a little baby or something there at one point in the game. I think it was your brother. My eyes are really bad, but I was telling Johnny after they missed those 2 free throws, you guys were going crazy down there. And so I think he said they were 0 for 6 in the last 2 games in the first half down there shooting against Section 12. So you guys are keep it up, man. You're impacting the game. You're impacting the metrics, all this stuff. So. Logan talking about Cam Martin's passes. That was he had a couple of really nice passes. He had the one Bill Walton one where he's going back for the shot, and then he found somebody for a layup. Cam Martin can really pass the ball. I was super impressed with what Cam did. Bousher was so fired up. Yeah, Bousher and Max Rice's brother were sitting by each other, so they were definitely talking to Max after he hit that last 3. I'm waiting for the Section 12 fathead. I really don't need one, and frankly, I think they tried to do one of me several years ago, and Boise State wouldn't let it happen. Since I'm not an official partner, they count that as marketing for BNN, which is not allowed. So I don't think they would allow a fathead of mine, unfortunately. But appreciate the nice appreciate the nice sentiment there. I was talking about this a little earlier, Nate. Not sure if you were listening or not. Leon Rice does talk about that in the interview we're going to hear in a minute. But unfortunately, nowadays, every point matters with the net ranking and KenPom and all that stuff, and you just can't afford to not have your players out there. So I get it. It stinks. It's not ideal with the rankings and how all that works and stuff. But every count matters. Whether you win the game by 25 or 15 directly impacts your rankings and stuff like that. And so you just can't really afford to put all the bench players in there as much anymore. And I will say this, once you get to the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament, the commercial breaks are longer. So guys, usually you do shorten your bench a little bit because guys get more rest at that point. Let's see what else we got here. 9:30 is true. Wow, that is super late. Okay. 8:30 there, same start for BSU Tuesday night. Well, it's 8:30 here, but 7:30 there in Pacific. Usually I haven't seen any games starting past 9, Mountain Time. 9:30 is crazy. But looking forward to that. It says 9. I believe it's 9:30. 9:30 Fox Sports 1. So Baby Waving is back. It was all around, not a lot to be negative about. I know somebody on Twitter said they weren't that impressed. I'm like, well, what was there to not be impressed about? I mean, maybe the fact that they gave up 11 threes, but overall, the offense was good. They rebounded good. I thought it was a very solid game for Boise State coming off the bye. And again, if you want to discredit it because it was Fresno State, that's fine, but they were supposed to win by 15. They won by 26. So, or 24, what was it? 24. So, I mean, they still won by about 10 points over what they were supposed to. Ken Pom had it at 72-58, I think, and they won 90-66. So they did better than they were supposed to do by a significant margin on the metrics. Let's hear from Leon Rice after the game, but first, want to tell you about a couple of our great sponsors, Lithia Ford of Boise. LithiaFordBoise.com. You can go online, do what the Raines family did, purchase a vehicle from them. We went and put about 3 of them that we wanted to test drive based on, we went online, looked at all the different vehicles, found the 3 we liked, went in, test drove them, and picked the one we wanted, and we were on our way in a couple of hours. Highly recommend Lithia Ford of Boise. They do a tremendous job. Jim Sturk and company, big supporters of Boise State athletics. They got 5 of Boise State athletes driving around in their vehicles on NIL deals. So support them, check them out, and you can view them there in Boise or check them out online at LithiaFordBoise.com. You want some good food? I may be heading to Taco Bell on the way home. I've been eating a lot healthier, a lot better, but that 4th meal may be calling me tonight. TacoBellWorks.com. You can get more information if you're looking for a job. They're offering half their pay the day after your shift. So if you need some quick cash, you need a new job, but you don't want to wait 3 weeks for that first paycheck, they can help you out and give you half your wages the day after your shift. So SON Management, the Nicolason family, check them out. They're hiring all the freestanding Treasure Valley Taco Bell stores, and I think they've got 36 across the surrounding states there. So they're donating a lot of money to Boise State as well for student-athlete scholarships. So support them, help them out, and next time you're looking for a meal, check out Taco Bell. The BlueandOrangeStore.com is a great place to go at the Boise Town Square Mall, whether you're looking for jerseys, shirts, caps, bumper stickers, car flags, you name it, an entire store dedicated to Boise State gear and apparel, and I highly recommend you checking them out there next to Per Image on the 2nd floor of the Boise Town Square Mall. But if you are if you're not in the area, you can go online, theblueandorangestore.com, and they have free shipping on any order over $40. And if you're looking for a job, not sure if you thought of the trucking industry or not, but the Transportation Compliance Service, they can help you out every step of the way to get into the trucking industry. And transcompservice.com is that website, whether it's the overweight permits, DOT permits. 75% of folks that try to get into the trucking industry and do it themselves end up going out of business. So let the professionals handle the paperwork for you and get you out there towing that first load in no time. That's Transportation Compliance Service at transcompservice.com. Back here at ExtraMile Arena. Again, Boise State wins this one. Roy loves Bronco Nation News. Appreciate you, Roy. That means a lot. We gave away our trip for 2 to San Diego. Our winner was Roy Miller, I believe was his name. I talked to him on the phone. He's from Idaho Falls, big BSU fan. We're going to get him on the show next week to talk about that. But congratulations again to Roy Miller. And again, we have some other giveaways and things we're going to be giving out. And Kareem the Dream, you've got a $20 gift card to Taco Bell headed your way for having the closest score prediction to this one on the pregame show. So stay tuned. If you subscribe, BNN 50 deals, that promo code at the bottom of the screen. You get your first year for $50, and you get all kinds of great content, a daily email, exclusive content. Mike Prater's working on a column that you'll get exclusively as well. You can read all of my post-game coverage and things like that. So we appreciate all of you that have already subscribed, and we hope that some of you will decide to subscribe as well. My computer is wanting to crap out on me a little bit here, so we're going to try to backdoor this different way to play the video here of Leon Rice. I don't know why my computer is wanting to be like this. Sometimes the end of a long day, I got a lot of memory, a lot of videos on here, and it doesn't always work properly. So let's see if this works. I'm going to try to play the Leon Rice interview here shortly. Let's see if I can do this here. We'll start playing this.
They just keep doing the right stuff.
Let's see. Apologize for this, guys. Let's hear from.
Yeah, I thought because this day and age, it's a new weird thing to adjust to. Every second matters.
All right, let's do this again here.
Just
sorry for this, guys. Here's Leon Rice post game after the win.
race. It's fun.
All right, I
Ball,
apologize for that, guys. I
and
was
NCAA
not paying
tournament, all
attention,
this
and I just noticed that you
speculation
guys are
and
saying we have
brackets,
no
all this
time
and
here,
that.
so no sound. So apologize for that. Not sure what happened, and I'm sorry that for a couple minutes there I wasn't paying attention and didn't realize you. That's what I get when I'm trying to write my story at the same time. I thought, I got 4 minutes to play this video, and I can transcribe a couple of the interviews and be ready for my post game. It's already up on YouTube, so I apologize. But if you want to go to YouTube, the whole interview with Leon Rice is up there. And again, I'm not sure what happened or why it's not letting me load the video like it usually does. At least we got the players in, so I apologize for that. But it is up on YouTube, and you can go watch it there. Somebody was asking about. Yeah, I didn't hit record till halfway through. That is true, but the part you were just watching should have had sound, so I apologize for that, and then I wasn't paying attention. Allie, appreciate you for watching and commenting, asking what will happen on Tuesday. Tuesday, they are playing at 8:30. That's kind of a bad beat for a home game that doesn't start till 8:30 against San Jose State, and they're actually expected to beat San Jose State by more than, than they beat Fresno by. They're projected to win by 16. 79-63 is the projected score there. So they're projected to score more and win more than they were going into the Fresno game. The Wyoming game on Saturday next week is still going to be the scary one. They're only projected to win by 7. The Air Force game, they're projected to win by 9. They're now projected, based on this win, by the way, guys, to beat New Mexico by 1 and beat Nevada by 2. So if you go by the Ken Pom numbers, Boise State now expected to win their next 5 games and go into San Diego State only down as the only loss remaining on the season. So let me see here if I can put that on the screen here real quick, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is the Ken Pom numbers. It's like $20 a year. I highly recommend you guys go subscribe to it. But there's the final stretch for Boise State. They're projected to win by 16, and then 7 at Wyoming and 9 at Air Force. So you could come home on Saturday, March 2nd, a 6 p.m. game, sellout crowd, first place on the line. That could just be a monster couple of games for New Mexico and Nevada there at home. But again, got to take care of business in these next 3. But if you can win your next 3, be 20-8 on the season, be 11-4 in Mountain West play, and have New Mexico and Nevada coming to town, that could be just a massive stretch coming up for Boise State. So got to take care of these 3 games first, and that's one of the comments you could not hear Leon Rice say, but he was talking about just the winning and taking care of business. And yeah, they showed the team the standings. They know where they're at in the standings. They can see that, but he also said it doesn't matter if you don't take care of business and win your games. So certainly a favorable schedule here for Boise State, but you have to take care and win the games and be able to do that. So appreciate you guys for checking us out today. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here and write my story and try to get home in time to watch that UNLV game at 9:30. Again, hope you're going to join us for the pool party. Rains at BroncoNationNews.com. Rains at BroncoNationNews.com gets you free entry on Friday, March 15th. That's 4 weeks from yesterday for the pool party, and we are super excited about that. I've been trying to drop a few pounds, so I'm looking a little better out there for the pool party. My wife's coming down for it. Her mom, her brothers. It's going to be a lot of fun out there. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys. And again, if you're staying at Circa, you don't have to RSVP or anything, but I would like to know if you were coming. If you're not staying at Circa, we can get you in for free. It's like a $40 cover charge that is free if you email me at rains@BroncoNationNews.com. So, I mean, everybody's going to be there. I know Travis Hawks is going to be there. The Degenhart family is going to be there. I know Matt Boucher is going to be there. I mean, this is going to be the pool party of all pool parties. So if you're going to be in Vegas for the conference tournament, make plans to join us all day on Friday, semifinal Friday before the semifinals, hanging out at the pool at Circa Resort and Casino. So appreciate you guys again for watching us, for subscribing, for liking the broadcast. And again, I've got a full story I'm going to go right at Bronco Nation News right now. And then you can join me and Mike Prater on Monday at 9 a.m. as we'll break this one down and look ahead as well. And no news on the offensive coordinator search yet. We'll see if we get some. I do know that Spencer Danielson has been talking and interviewing candidates all week. So they're getting closer, but nothing there yet. And we'll see what happens here moving forward. But appreciate you guys for checking us out, for watching the show. Again, final score 90-66. Boise State takes down Fresno State. The Broncos back in control of their own destiny in the Mountain West race with 6 games to go. They'll be back in action Tuesday at home against San Jose State. That's a late 8:30 start. But we will have you covered Monday and Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. on Bronco Nation News. So appreciate you guys for checking us out. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I think you want Nevada to win that one, by the way, if you're a Boise State fan, but we'll be watching together. Talk to you guys on social media. We'll see which Mountain West fan base I can piss off next. Today it was San Diego State fans. It's been Utah State fans. It's been New Mexico. It's been Colorado. I'm on quite a run here of fans getting frustrated for tweets that I really didn't intend to tick people off with. So it is what it is. But appreciate you guys, as always, for watching the show and for telling your friends. Subscribe on social media. Subscribe to the site if you can and help us out. And again, apologize for the brief Leon Rice audio issues. You can go watch the full Leon Rice interview and the full Tyson Degenhardt, Cam Martin interview on our YouTube channel, as well as some highlights. I can't show you the highlights because we're having some issues here with sharing stuff, but we have some highlights from Jaden Finch. Those are up on the YouTube channel as well. So thanks again, guys. Again, the final score 90-66. This has been the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show. We're in the Cutwater Studios. We're presented by RowPaint.com. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you 9 a.m. Monday morning with Mike Prater, but you can read my story here in about 90 minutes on BroncoNationNews.com. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.